Many TOEFL candidates practice speaking for weeks but still struggle to speak smoothly in the speaking test. Then, one simple change transforms everything. They start using a strategic speaking framework. We've helped thousands of students prepare this way through our TOEFL packages. They discover how strategic preparation can completely change their results. In this video, you'll get the chance to answer practice questions for both TOEFL speaking tasks. Take an interview and listen and repeat. You'll also see a high-scoring sample answer and learn how to score high in TOEFL speaking. Let's dive in. Before we start with the practice questions, let's quickly talk about what you need to do in the Take an Interview task. This task simulates a real interview situation where you'll answer questions about yourself, your experiences, and your opinions. An interviewer will ask you several questions, and you have to respond with detailed and well-developed answers. You need to demonstrate your ability to communicate effectively in English. Each response should include specific examples, clear reasoning, and natural language that shows you can express complex ideas fluently. The TOEFL examiners evaluate how well you organize your thoughts, develop your ideas with supporting details, and maintain appropriate tone and coherence throughout the interview. Here are 5 essential tips for scoring high in this task. First, answer the question directly and completely without going off topic or providing irrelevant information. Second, support your main points with specific examples from your personal experience. Concrete details help you address the question fully. Additionally, they give you an opportunity to show the TOEFL examiners that your English is advanced. Third, use a variety of sentence structures, including complex sentences with subordinate clauses. This shows the TOEFL examiners that you know advanced grammar and can boost your score. Moreover, use advanced vocabulary to demonstrate that you have a wide range of vocabulary. You'll now see an interviewer who will ask you a question. You will have 45 seconds to give your answer. There is no preparation time. I recommend recording yourself while speaking so you can evaluate your performance afterward. Once you've answered the question, we will take a look at a sample answer together, and I will show you how to achieve a high score. Let's get started.
Thank you for speaking with me today. Now, I'd like to know, what kind of reaction do you have to working with people who have very different ideas from yours? Why do you think you react in this way?
In the following, I'll give a high-scoring sample answer using our TOEFL speaking templates. After that, you'll learn why this response scores highly and how you can boost your score. I have a positive reaction to working with people who have different ideas. I generally feel excited and challenged when collaborating with teammates who think differently. I think I react this way because diverse perspectives often lead to more creative solutions than working with people who share my exact viewpoint. Additionally, different approaches push me to consider angles I might have missed. For instance, when I worked on a marketing project last semester with David, who preferred experimenting while I liked planning, we divided tasks based on our strengths. This collaboration produced impressive results and taught me to value different working styles. Now, let's look at what makes this a high-scoring response using the TOEFL speaking scoring criteria. According to the TOEFL scoring guide, a high-scoring response is on topic and well elaborated. Let's take a look at what the interviewer asks. She asks two questions. First, she wants to know what kind of reaction you have to working with people who have very different ideas from you. Second, she asks why you think you react in this way. This response directly addresses the question. First, I state a clear reaction. Then I explain the reasons and provide a specific example from a marketing project. I also elaborate on the example. I include concrete details about David's preference for experimenting versus my preference for planning and how we divided tasks effectively. It was easy for me to structure and develop my response because I used our TOEFL speaking templates. As you can see, I start with I have a positive reaction to directly answer the question about my reaction to working with people who have different ideas. Then I use the sentence starter I generally feel to describe my emotional response. I generally feel excited and challenged when collaborating with teammates who think differently. Next, I explain my reasoning with I think I react this way because. This sentence starter helps me provide the underlying reasons for my reaction. Moreover, I use the transition additionally to add extra information. Different approaches push me to consider angles I might have missed. Finally, I use the sentence starter, for instance, when to introduce an example. This is a great way to show the TOEFL examiners that I am now going to talk about an example. As you can see, the sentence starters create smooth connections between ideas and make the response clear and well structured. It's natural, confident, and easy to follow. This is exactly what the TOEFL examiners look for. The best thing about templates is that you don't have to think about how to start your response. You can simply start speaking. You say the sentence starter and then you finish the sentence with your ideas. If you want all the TOEFL speaking templates with ready-to-use sentence starters and vocabulary, click the link below and check out our TOEFL packages. You'll find all the templates you need there. Another huge benefit of using sentence starters is that they show the TOEFL examiners that you have a broad range of vocabulary. The TOEFL scoring guide states that you need to use a range of accurate grammar and vocabulary to score highly in the speaking test. Apart from the varied sentence starters, this response includes advanced expressions like diverse perspectives, creative solutions, and exact viewpoint. These vocabulary choices are precise and natural. The grammar includes complex structures like subordinate clauses and varied sentence patterns that demonstrate language facility. For example, take a look at this sentence. For instance, when I worked on a marketing project last semester with David, who preferred experimenting while I liked planning, we divided tasks based on our strengths. This sentence uses a relative clause, who preferred experimenting. Additionally, there is a contrasting clause, while I liked planning. You can also see the past tense here, worked, preferred, liked, and divided. Make sure you use different tenses in your response to demonstrate to the examiners that your English is advanced. Another key scoring criterion is that your pronunciation is easy to understand and that rhythm and intonation effectively convey meaning. Don't speak too fast or too slowly. Speak the way you would in a natural conversation. Also, make sure to emphasize key words so you don't sound monotonous. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. Let's continue with the listen and repeat task. In this task, you'll hear short sentences that you need to repeat exactly as they're spoken. This might sound simple, but it evaluates your listening comprehension, pronunciation, and ability to reproduce English sounds accurately. The TOEFL examiners want to hear that you can process spoken English effectively and deliver it back with clear articulation and appropriate intonation. Before we start with the practice questions, here are 5 essential tips for scoring high in the listen and repeat task. First, listen to the entire sentence before you start speaking, so you understand the complete thought and rhythm. Second, pay close attention to word stress and intonation patterns, because these make your speech sound natural. Third, speak at a steady pace that matches the original speed. Don't rush through difficult words. Next, pronounce each word clearly and completely without dropping sounds or syllables at the end of words. Don't try to paraphrase or change the sentence. Your job is to repeat the sentence exactly as it was spoken. Now, you'll see 3 practice sentences. You'll hear each sentence once, and then you'll have time to repeat it. I recommend recording yourself while speaking so you can evaluate your performance afterward.
The library closes at midnight on weekdays, but it remains open until 2 on Saturdays. Yesterday's presentation covered sustainable architecture and innovative construction techniques. Researchers have discovered fascinating connections between sleep patterns and academic performance.
Now, let me explain how to score high in the listen and repeat task. The key is accuracy and intelligibility. Accuracy means that you need to say every word exactly as spoken. High-scoring candidates don't add words, skip words, or substitute different words. They reproduce the sentence precisely, maintaining the same word order and grammatical structure. Intelligibility is equally important. This means your pronunciation is clear enough that listeners can understand you easily without effort. For example, when you say midnight on weekdays, each syllable should be pronounced distinctly. The stress falls naturally on mid in midnight and week in weekdays. Regarding the second sentence, the main stress falls on yesterdays, covered, sustainable, and innovative. Make sure to pronounce the multisyllabic words clearly, especially architecture and techniques. Don't drop any syllables. Now, let's check out the third sentence. Be particularly careful with the pronunciation of researchers and fascinating. Make sure each syllable is clear and the rhythm flows naturally from beginning to end. This is crucial because pacing is extremely important. If the original sentence is spoken at a moderate conversational speed, your repetition should match that rhythm. Speaking too quickly can cause you to mumble or drop word endings. Speaking too slowly can make your response sound unnatural. Find that natural middle ground where each word is clear, but the overall flow is smooth and connected. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their TOEFL score too. See you in the next video!